What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Marvel's Thunderbolts. So as we know, the UK premiere was last night in central London, and it was the European red carpet event, which was pretty cool. Looked pretty cool outside, as I was not there because I'm at the other side of the world. So we now have the plot confirmed. We now have the post-credit confirmed. So we're going to talk about Thunderbolts, and the reaction to this movie is pretty freaking insane. Basically the best Marvel movie in a long time, which I think is very viable and very credible because there was no negative test screenings. There was no reshoots that we heard about that was catabolic or hyperbolic. So if you could, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. We also have a channel over there which you can join, which I can post the Avengers Doomsday leaks, the Supergirl leaks, the Godzilla x Kong 3 leaks, stuff over there much sooner than we can. We are approaching 800 members on the Instagram, and also if you could follow me over there, that would be sick. Also, if you could follow us on Twitter, WarstuG, and obviously follow us on the YouTube channel. So let's break down these post-credit scenes. So there was 2 post-credit scenes that's been confirmed and verified. There was a lot of fake. I don't know why this happens. It's like people clout chase, people rage bait. I mean, the amount of fake post-credit scene. There was a scene going around saying the leader broke out and he was contacting Dr. Doom. Like, I get it. People try and clout chase on Twitter because you can send a tweet in like literally a few seconds. So the first post-credit scene is essentially a shopping list from the Red Guardian, kind of like a gag reel. Very hyperbolic, very over the top. And the actual real post-credit scene that everyone is being over the top saying, oh, we've waited for this for multiple years, is to do with the Fantastic Four showing up. So, allegedly, it goes down like this. Okay, so by the end of the movie, the Thunderbolts, they're not the Dark Avengers. So the asterisk actually means they're the New Avengers. So at the end of the movie, in the post-credit scene that everyone's talking about, they're arguing, or some variation of that, about the copyright of being called the New Avengers. And essentially what this is setting up is the Fantastic Four in their ship come through a portal, and it's essentially the Fantastic Four coming to the MCU timeline, which people have wanted for a very, very long time, to finally get the Fantastic Four in the main MCU timeline. As we know, we have the other variations of the Fantastic Four in the Fox universe, but people have wanted the Fantastic Four. So this is actually epic. It's pretty damn massive. And you've probably seen the over-the-top hyperbolic reactions on Twitter from the people that went to these events, right? Because they weren't all red carpets. Like, there was one in England, but there was fan events everywhere across America. And I think the fact they've done these fan events 1 week before the movie actually comes out tells us, just like Deadpool and Wolverine, when Deadpool and Wolverine did 30 minutes fan events, they've actually done the full movie with the post-credit scenes at a fan event, which tells me and a lot of other creators that Marvel basically wants this movie to bang. They want these things out there, and a mild spoiler, but you've pretty much seen, we will cover this in a different video later this week, they've pretty much shown 80-90% of the movie already within the trailers. Now, this movie isn't tracking great, but it's only got a reported budget of $150 to $200 million, which is not high for a Marvel movie, but it's still fairly high, seeing as, yes, they do have actors like Sebastian Stan and Florence Pugh in it, and obviously David Harbour. It's not a star-studded cast, and the Thunderbolts are not very well known. So although it's not tracking crazy numbers, this is essentially Marvel's Suicide Squad, if you like. I know people are going to hate when I say that, because obviously the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie wasn't very good, didn't make much money. In fact, it lost money. Whereas the Warner Bros. Studio Suicide Squad movie made a lot of money. So I think this movie could make a lot of money, as I hate to say it, Warner Bros. Has proven, and multiple other studios have proven, with Minecraft movie making 750 and Sinners doing pretty good, is you make a good movie and people go watch it. Now, the reactions to this movie are very good. So obviously the Fantastic Four appearing in the main MCU timeline is insane, and it is kind of teasing Doctor Doom, Doomsday, setting up a greater universe of them coming to the actual universe. But the post-credit scene itself is supposed to be set after the Fantastic Four movie, which could imply that one of the rumours is true, might not be true. There's two, okay, careful spoilers. There's two rumours about how the Fantastic Four movie ends. Is one of them is their universe explodes and they go to a different universe, and this is how the post-credit scene happens. But it happens in the Thunderbolts movie after it, but it's post the Fantastic Four movie. And the other rumour is their universe doesn't die, because as we know in their own movie, they've recently just revealed, get the first look at Galactus, it's Galactus devours worlds, so on and so forth. So that's the main gist of the post-credit scene for the Fantastic Four First Steps movie. Now, I understand why some, I call them fake-ass Marvel fans, because let's be honest, unless you're over the age of 40, 50, you're not actually going to be, oh my God, I'm a die-hard fan. Like, that's my opinion, right? You don't have to be a die-hard fan of everything to appreciate a Marvel movie, and that's kind of where I don't like it, where a lot of people make out that you've got to be a die-hard fan to appreciate this stuff. So, yes, it is kind of insane, but not really, because we know that the Thunderbolts are the new Avengers now, and they're a big part of Doomsday. They're in the official cast. The Fantastic Four are a huge part of Doomsday, so it should be no shock that they were going to meet each other. Although no one comes out of the Fantastic Four spaceship at all, it is quite groundbreaking, but at the same time it's not. Now, I understand the for and against why it's such a big thing, and people, were going over the top, but that's why they've got fans to do it, because there was no NDAs, as far as I know, at the fan events. They want people talking about this. I'm not exclusively going to talk about the actual plot of the movie, but that's essentially how the movie ends. There's a gag reel, a shopping list, if you like, with the Red Guardian, and the second post-credit scene is them arguing about the new Avengers having the copyright, so on and so forth. It's a little bit longer, but we're going to, break it down, because as you guys know, I'm currently away, and I still want to cover stuff. But that's the gist of the actual post-credit scene. It is pretty sick of the Fantastic Four appearing, although I'm still not happy with Pedro Pascal being cast as Reed Richards, because as we know, Matt Smith was up for the role. We have Adam Driver. He wasn't the first choice. And this is an insane take, and that you can say what you want about this take in the comment section, lads and ladettes. Is, for me, Pedro Pascal is a TV actor. Last of Us, Game of Thrones, briefly. He's a TV actor. He's not a movie actor. Him in Wonder Woman 1984 as the villain. Pedro Pascal is just, he's not a movie actor for me. Hopefully he can change my mind, because obviously in the comics, as we know, Marvel movies don't really follow the comics. Reed Richards' greatest rivalry is generally Doctor Doom. So is Doctor Doom going to appear in the Fantastic Four movie? I really think he is. I think the way this movie ends does kind of solidify that, but at the same time, it doesn't solidify that at the same time. So these are the crazy, insane post-credit scenes, which are not at all, but at least we know there's going to be some connective tissue, because we know the Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers. There were rumours saying it was the Dark Avengers, and Kevin Feige did say way back at D23 that after you see the Thunderbolts, you'll understand why there's an asterisk. So the Thunderbolts are part of the new Avengers, but I essentially think the whole squad of the new Avengers will be the Thunderbolts, will be the Fantastic Four, will be whatever team that Sam Wilson makes, because remember the post-credit scene, and generally in Captain America 4, it's spoken about that there's something coming, although it wasn't exclusively Doctor Doom. The director was talking nonsense when he said it was talking about the Illuminati, which I don't agree with. So we all know that essentially everyone is going to be part of the new Avengers, if you like, going against Doctor Doom. And it's interesting, but it's got the Marvel fandom talking again. It's got the buzz again. It's got like Marvel is back, which I hate when people say Marvel is back, but if Marvel is really back, is that a bad thing? The reviews are insane, the reactions are insane, saying this is Marvel's best movie since Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think is a bad thing, because if that's the case, then people think, oh, it's Guardians of the Galaxy childish movies. Now, I know we're going to say Warstu slagging James Gunn off again. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that this movie has a much serious tone than the Guardians movie. There was real deaths, there was real ramifications in the Guardians movie. There really wasn't, though, was there? So like always, guys, let us know, what do you think about these crazy, insane post-credit scenes? They're not actually that crazy and insane, in my opinion, but they are pretty cool, and there is massive ramifications for them. So to sum it up, the post-credit scene actually gives us more questions than it does answers, right? Because there was a big rumour that Galactus was going to destroy the Fantastic Four universe, right? And there's a scene in the trailer where you see a massive explosion. Now, a lot of people thought that was the explosion where the Fantastic Four universe was being destroyed. Some people thought it was a vision. There's lots of answers it could be. It's like, how did they get to the Thunderbolts timeline, which is obviously the 616 MCU timeline? Did Frank and Richards teleport them there? It does actually open up a lot of questions rather than answers, which is a good thing, because the bad thing about Marvel movies is there's no connective tissues. I mean, you just got to look at the Shang-Chi post-credit scene, the ending for the Eternals, which they were very good post-credit scenes and endings, but they didn't really go anywhere. And that's the biggest criticism that Marvel Studios has for these post-credit scenes, is they're not really going to go anywhere, then why do them? So it's really going to build anticipation for the Fantastic Four movie now, because it's like, did Galactus destroy their universe? Is that how the post-credit scene takes place in the Thunderbolts? Is Galactus devours the timeline that the Fantastic Four are from, and they somehow appear at the Thunderbolts timeline, ironically after their movie, but obviously when it happens in the timeline, it's actually after the Thunderbolts. It's very freaking interesting. I'm really excited. And yes, obviously, I'm just breaking down what I've been told realistically, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to really deem a lot more questions than answers, and it's just giving Marvel fans hope again, because Marvel knows they're screwed in ways, because they haven't done a proper setup for Doomsday. And with the most recent, we're going to go over this in video later this week. As you know, I'm away at the other side of the world, 5,000 miles away. It's harder for me to make videos. I'm actually trying to have a real holiday for once, rather than making content, but I do like this stuff, hence why I do it. So I do want to cover this stuff. Is the Fantastic Four movie, it's very interesting, because more questions than answers now, and we will go over information about the Fantastic Four movie, which could indicate where they're going. And it's like, there's no real setup, but there could be. It's like the Fantastic Four reshoots. I think they are definitely adding in some Avengers Doomsday content to it now, for sure. So that's pretty much it. I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face, man, the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, and I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.